There are success stories, and sometimes there are unbelievable success stories. And today I am sitting with a CEO who is known as a CEO who turn around not a company but companies. So please welcome Aqeel Ahmad, Group CEO for SITECH, who turned around 5 companies of the state, and they were all in losses, not able to meet their expenses, under debt. And then the genie came over and he turned all of them around. And mashallah, all the 5 companies are doing so well. So please welcome Aqeel Ahmad, Group CEO, SITECH.
Okay, thank you very much.
One more statement, Aqeel Sahab. Not only he have done this with these 5 companies, he actually do have a record that he turned around one of the Seaman department as well. And one more, I want you to tell me.
Yeah, I mean, I've been doing turnaround for the last now 10 years. And
10 years.
So I had one turnaround in Pakistan, and that went very well. So
Okay.
I was asked to do the turnaround in Middle East for a multinational company. And I mean, maybe it was a coincidence. I was successful again.
One coincidence, 2, 3, 4.
And that added that added to my confidence, and I decided that I can do anything. So when I came back to Pakistan for 6 months, because my mother was not well in 2021, then at that time I was asked to join SITECH, or in fact become a founder of SITECH, because we had all these 5 entities, and they asked me to turn them around. So I think I feel myself that I am very lucky in that, because until 2021 I was always involved in turning around multinationals and companies around the world, but this is my first experience. And also it is my first experience to join a local organization in Pakistan and do it. So it was a bit risky, I would say.
Very risky, not a bet.
So, but I would say that I was supported by my wife as well, and because I asked her, because she was used to live abroad. So I said, I mean, we are going to live in Pakistan now, and I have to do this work. And she said, please do it, because the country needs it.
Oh wow!
And still, I mean, sometimes when she's frustrated by something here locally, there are a lot of challenges living in Pakistan as well. It's a wonderful country, by the way, and wonderful place where I'm living. So she always reminds me that, Aqeel, we have not done the job. It's still, we are behind, and we have to turn it around. So I would say the journey, which started precisely on 1st January 2022, has been a big success, I would say, and I'm enjoying it every day. My learning experience is, I mean, I cannot measure it.
Oh, yeah. I mean, mashallah, and I think so that we all owe a thank you to your wife. So
Yeah,
say हमारा शुक्रिया अपनी बेगम को जरूर दीजिएगा. Now let's talk about the SITECH portfolio, man. So when you came over, there were these 5 companies. What is again unimaginable is that they all are 5 different industries. So it's not like that you own 5 companies of the same industry. So totally different industries, totally different portfolios, and then you turn them around. How come?
Yeah, it's a very interesting journey. As I told you that I had some experience of turning around businesses, but when I came here and started working on these organizations, it's industrial conglomerate. Actually, if you look at it, they are disjoint in some way.
And then a steel mill as well.
And then a refinery.
Refinery, yes.
So all are going. But and I always tell people when they say how to turn around the business, I always tell them there is no recipe. I mean, you cannot ask me. There is a template today. Okay, I do this, then I'm. But there are some common things as well. So I always focus on these 3 things. Number 1 is people, the product that we have, and the third one is the processes that we are following. If we somehow manage these 3 things, I'm confident that we can turn around things or transform an organization. Okay, how to do it? That's another story, because then you have to do it in a different way for different industries, because I mean, the mindset of a refinery is different than mindset of steel production. Yeah, because
and a chemical, and then
and the big challenge that I faced is that of course these organizations were coming from an SOE background, state-owned enterprise, so it had a lot of challenges, and most of the organizations were on privatization for a long time, which meant no investment on these organizations, neither in HR nor in production facilities improvement.
No quality.
So nothing was going on. So we started with that. And when people ask me that, okay, in 2.5 years, the businesses are now positive, they are giving back money, and it's not like this that they were eating, it's not there. But I still tell them, when you say turnaround, it's a slow process. The reason being that you can change machinery, you can change other things, but the people mindset doesn't change overnight. It doesn't even change in a year. It takes years to change. So I would say at one end we have fixed few things, basic things, but still the turnaround will take time. Then the second biggest challenge was the products itself, because when you are having an SOE environment, you make a lot of products. So my first question was this: wherever I went, I said, okay, how many products are we making? They said, okay, let's say 50 products. I said, in how many products are we number 1, 2, and 3 in market share? They said, yeah, okay, out of this 50, there are 5. I said, these 5 products, you are getting a feedback from the market that you are good at it. That's why you are number 1, 2, or 3. So let's focus on them first, and those products where we are not being recognized, then let's put them aside. So we started working on those products, and I think it went very well as far as the products are concerned. Then we worked on processes. Now processes were very, very weak, especially when you have an SOE mindset and SOE processes, because people always try to find out shortcuts, and they neither follow the process nor they want to implement it. So here we have done a good job. What we did is that we said, okay, let's go for the best organization to help us. So we went for a tender and we hired PwC, Ferguson's, to make the processes for all these organizations, and these processes should follow the best business practices, and those practices which are followed in corporate world as well as internationally. So that process is going on, and it will be finished next year. So we are just plugging the gaps. So it is going.
Aqeel, when you were adopting these 5 companies, were you sure that you will be able to turn around? कोई एक आधी तो fail करते?
I would say that yeah, I mean, I was fearful, but then I said it's important to do it. I think this is the same answer which Elon Musk gave when somebody asked why you are going for SpaceX. Then he said exactly the same, and I liked his answer. And this is what I tell people, that because exactly this was going into my mind.
But why not a single failure, man? Life is about ups and downs both.
There are.
Okay, so now this is the real you, which is the normal human being. Okay.
I mean, we are here now for 2 years and 4 months.
There are bad times as well. There are very bad times as well.
Of course, there had been a lot of challenges, because you just start an initiative, and then you start finding out the barriers. And I can tell you something interesting. When I started chairing the meetings in the old organizations, so I was asking them, okay, I remember the first one. Let me just tell you about the first meeting, because I was used to work in a different environment. So I asked them, I was quiet, so everybody's looking at me, and those people who were sitting in that board were much senior than me in terms of age. So I said one sentence. I said, don't grow up. And everybody looked at me and said, this guy is mad or what? I said, don't grow up. Why? Because if you have a child who is 3 years old, he or she will ask you one word, and that is why. Why, Baba, this is happening like this? Why? And when he or she grows up and becomes a teenager, reaches the age of teenage, then the question is improved. And they say, why not? They are not only telling you why, asking you why, but also telling you another way of doing it. Why not we do it that way? Why not we do it? And then I said, when we reach an edge where we are, I mean, it's actually the mindset, then also we have one word in our mouth. And that word is because.
Oh, wow.
So in order to maintain the status quo, we always use this word. And I said, in this meeting, unfortunately, there are a lot of because. So let's take it out. Let's become a child. And challenge each other.
Challenge each other.
Yeah, and then keep that constructive tension between us, because that will help us to think out of the box. And the box is not bigger than this, that much. This is your brain.
Yeah. Why Aqeel Ahmad is able to transform 2 or 3 main competencies or habits of you that made you you?
Yeah. If you look at my career, I remember when I started, the first 5 years were learning, and I was working in USA, Germany, and other countries, and China even. So first 5 years were full of learning, and I did a lot of experiments, and I failed a lot.
Oh wow.
And then I learned from it. Then came a phase when I joined another multinational Swiss company where we were very small. So I thought that, okay, I'm small, so I have to grow. So I then used all the strategies which I learned. I also did my MBA during that time, and learned a lot how to grow an organization. And then in 10 years, we really grew by not 5, it was almost 8x growth.
8 times.
8 times.
8 times.
Okay, it was very small at the beginning, so I won't say it was doing a business of around.
But you had this habit since you were very young.
Yeah, I started that, and I was very lucky also that I got an opportunity to work there, and I was heading the branch office of that Swiss organization. And then I was asked to work abroad, to Egypt and Singapore, all those places. But in the meantime, the main target was to grow the business. So 10 years from 2000 till 2010 were packed growth activities that I was doing. Then I told you about what happened afterwards. I joined back my German organization, and then we were going through some turbulence and challenges in one of the whole organization or a division, and then I turned it around. So, in order to transform an organization, you need to have both. It's not only that you always go and start fixing the problems and forget about the future. Because fixing the problem is like firefighting, and you can't do it for a prolonged period of time. You need to give a strategy. You need to have your mission very clear. You have to make your vision, and then you have to design the values on which the organization has to run. And so luckily I had both growth and the turnaround models. Those were the 2 tools that I had. And the 5 years before that, where I was learning and doing a lot of experimentation, that really helped me. Because then I said, okay, I know not only to fix the problem, but also I need to grow the business as well. So it's not only firefighting, but also strategy. So both of these learnings that I had, which is around 20 years of learning, that really helped me. And in the meantime, I was an engineer. I did my master's in engineering, and then I also did my MBA in finance. And also, as I told you, when I was working for the Swiss organizations, I was also working on business process re-engineering, and then implementing SAP. I did it in Egypt. I also did it in Singapore.
Implementing SAP is like...
So, and before this was more important, because when we were making the business process blueprints, I was fully involved in it, and I was working as project manager. That really helped me. So knowing the businesses, knowing from the process side, so it's actually...
From all modes of it.
So shop floor to top floor. You need to learn everything from that.
And do you fear failure? Or so many successes are like, how is it? I really so want to ask this from you.
Yes, I was fearful, as I said in the beginning.
Because that's a part of the game.
Yeah, it's a risky business when you come to a government organization and try to do something. Because the first, inherent fear is that you are working for a government organization. It's challenging. But I was fearful, but I was confident as well. I said, if I can't do it, then nobody else can do it.
3 habits of Aqeel, which you think helped you in making yourself this.
Okay, if you ask me general one, I would start that I'm an early bird. I get
like
very
all
early
successful
in the morning.
People.
Even last night when I went home late, I think it was almost 10:30 when I left, and then I reached home around 11. I slept by around 12. I got up at 3:30 in the morning.
3:30?
Yes. This is what I do, 3:30 to 4.
Number one is that you are early riser. Number 2.
And you know what I do? When I get up, I would say that is a time when you start having waves.
Yeah.
And those waves are coming.
Wahi aati hai.
And sometimes, I'm sending messages also to my CEOs of entities. But I told them, please never reply. Don't reply. Keep your phone in silent mode.
But that is my time.
Yeah, because I'm getting something I can't resist to keep it with me. I just want to share it with you at that moment. Okay, so this is one thing. Second thing is that I have a lot of empathy for the people. And
you feel people.
And we did some very basic things for the workers and for the officers, I can just mention one simple thing that we have started doing. It is that we started the Ramzan package for all the workers, and that is not enough. And when I say workers, it means it includes daily wages, anybody in the organization who is there. And then we had the Eid package. And this year we decided that the Eid package that we are giving to them, it is for the gharwali and the children. So we had this beautiful dupatta for her, mehndi and bangles, and
just imagine the happiness that your worker is taking that bag and saying, this is the gift from my company.
And that really. So
number three. Empathy.
Number three is I'm result driven. I mean, because
are you very hardworking? Smart work or hard work?
I mean, it's a very difficult question to answer, but I would say I'm also a hard worker.
But believer of smart work as
because
well.
People when ask them, because in the past we used to say slow and steady wins the race. I say fast and steady wins the race, because nowadays the speed has increased. So you have to work, and in order to keep pace with to stay with with what people are doing with the environment, you have to run faster. Otherwise, you will be left behind. So, and the target driven is very important, because people tend to take things, this will be done, no problem. So also the target setting that we do 70% hard targets, which means those are the numbers, and then the 30% is what you did, how you do it. So what and how you keep them separated. Sometimes it's possible that your how is very strong, so you might get a 60%. 30% becomes 60%, and maybe the hard targets might not be that good. You can still get some bonus. So, yeah.
Two things you want to improve in yourself, or you don't like in yourself?
Yeah. This is one is very important. Because whole my life I've been working myself, and it's something which I'm still working on. Is that I empower somebody, give him the job.
But still, I'm looking at
if I do it, I'll do it better. So
you're a perfectionist.
I want to do it myself. Then I said, but this is not the right.
Now you're learning.
Yeah, I'm learning. I'm trying to control myself. And
I'm so glad that you know it. There are lots of people who are like that, but they don't understand it, no?
Yeah.
And number two.
So this is one thing which is very challenging for me. The second thing, sometimes I kill myself by doing, as I said, I'm also a hard worker, which means I'm unable to manage the work-life balance. So that's why it's very important that my wife supports me. The moment she stops supporting me,
then you're nowhere.
I'm nowhere.
You're nowhere.
Yeah. So I think this is another challenge which I have, and I am telling my people around me that please don't follow me on that. I remember when I joined, it is also happening. For me, I am staying late. Sometimes 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock. So the culture here was this, that since I am in the office, everybody will stay in the office. So I stopped it.
Don't do that. Out of pressure.
I said, please go home, because you have done your job. Why to stay? And also there's another challenge that I work on weekends also. So I'm trying to control that, but it is still something which is inside me. It's keep on making me work, do it. And there's so much to do, because it's not one organization, you're right. And also we've added a sixth one, which is not in the card, and that's a mining company. So now we have a mining company which was not there, so it has started. And it has started its first project in the northern areas. And what we are doing is nobody else is doing. We are working on new techniques which we developed in-house to do the mining. So
and mining is the future.
It is.
Mining is holds a lot of potential.
Pakistan is blessed with everything.
Aqeel, I so want my youngsters to have to be Aqeel again. I so want to have so many Aqeels in them, so that they can transform themselves, and then they can turn around the companies or small businesses, or can do excellence at their work or in their life as well. So I want you to tell the message of hope and optimism you want to give to youngsters.
Yeah, I can only tell you few things. The first thing is that nowadays we are always hearing about brain drain, and every youngster which I meet, they say, I want to go abroad, I want to work in USA and all such things. or even in Middle East, I can only tell you one thing. I mean, please don't listen to anybody.
Hi.
Just listen to your heart, and think what you can do to this country. I'm an example. I came back in 2021, and I was thinking of going back. I got an opportunity. I was lucky that I got an opportunity to work for the country, and I'm telling you, I never regret, and I'm enjoying every second of working for the country. And once you do it, you get the satisfaction which you can never get it from anything else that you can do in this life. So this is very important, that you believe in the country. Pakistan is everything. I mean, I was addressing one event in Karachi where there were Japanese and there was Germans and other guys were sitting there. I said the average age in Japan is over 49, it's almost 50 years. And same is in Germany. They also have challenges. I mean, Pakistan, 65% of this country's average age is less than 30 years old. So you can imagine the potential we have, and you are the potential. And you have to recognize it. You don't have to look here and there. You are the potential, and you can do it. When everybody decide to do something for the country, and I mean, it reminds me of a verse from Ahmad Faraz. शिकवाए जुल्मत शब से तो कहीं बेहतर होता अपने हिस्से की कोई शम्मा जलाते चला. And Pakistan is blessed with everything. We have got all sorts of resources. I mean, all sorts of resources. I can tell you one example. I work for a German company most of the time of my career. And since I started working for SITECH in Pakistan, we decided that I have to take products from Pakistan to Germany. We'll not import, we'll export them. And we did that.
Yes.
We went there and we started selling, and I can tell you in the last 1.5, 2 years, we have done more than $1 million sales to Germany, to Austria, to Czech, and to Turkey.
So imagine Pakistan is exporting steel to the German auto.
And people talk that we don't have Pakistan steel mills. Okay, it's close, but what we have is very specific engineered
steel.
I would call it super alloys that we are manufacturing in Pakistan. And I tell you one more interesting, we got people from Germany to come and visit us. And if the roads were broken and all that, the industrial areas, what is the situation there? So we took them there. They neglected everything. When they entered our facility, you know what they said? They said, wonderful. You were not expecting this. And then when I went to Germany, I went to a godown where the steel products, alloys were there. I asked the German guy one simple question. Because I lived in Germany, I know Germans very well. They never lie. They will tell you the truth on your face. So I said, okay, you have material from different countries. He said, yes, we have from China, we have from Eastern Europe, and we have from Ukraine. And now we also have from Pakistan these days. So this is all full of the products that we got from these countries. I said, rate them in quality.
Oh.
You won't believe it. And I've been telling this in China also when I was there with the ambassador in last year. He rated it like this. China in super alloys, number 4. Then we have some Eastern European countries. Then we have Ukraine. But number 1 is Pakistan. When I heard that in Germany, standing there, I said, wonderful. At least I got something. And imagine we had that facility and we were not really going out and doing it. So this is it. I mean, it's real myth that the people there are superior and they are doing amazing work. And I tell you one more story. Sorry, I'm taking more time, but I will tell you one more story. In 1998, I was sent to USA because I was working on a project to work on it. When I went there, I was because I was a fresh engineer and I just worked for 1 or 2 years, and I was scared that how I'm going to work in USA because we have been reading books from them. Our engineering books are mainly coming from USA. How can I work with them? And I had this myth in my mind that I am somehow inferior to them.
Like every Pakistani.
Yeah. When I went there, I went to Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. I started working on a steel project there. You won't believe it. The kind of blessing we have. And the moment I went there, I worked for a month, I realized Alhamdulillah, I mean, our level of, I would say even our EKS, which is education and knowledge and skill, is somehow better. This was my experience. Maybe other people have different experience, and that really broke everything. From that moment onward, I was a different person. I said, I can do anything, and we can if you just decide to do it.
Oh, might be I am a bit of spellbound. Thank you so much, Aqeel. It's amazing to have that. I'm so proud of myself that I have done this Coffee with CEO with you. What I've learned from you today is your confidence. You're doing good and then you're confident about it. Being a nation, we don't do that. Number 2 is your focus on your product. Number 1, you talked about people, product, people, and now you're telling me this Germany example, or that you are expo. So that means the focus on your product is what is required.
Yeah. And honestly speaking, we did not do a lot of work. We just did the basics. I mean, I remember the first meeting I had after we selected a few products. I said, okay, let's do BCG, Boston Consulting Group metrics. Let's do NSOF metrics. These are the basics. But unfortunately, because those were not there, so people did not really structure the growth and how to really go about it.
So, Aqeel, if steel mill can start exporting in 2 years, so I'm so sure that other 3 or 4 companies or one more which you are doing, they will be exporting soon, and then you will be making us more proud. There are more targets to you, and now you have turned them around, but now you have to transform them. That inshallah.
I tell people something very interesting. I said when I joined SITECH, I said it's like driving a car and changing your clothes at the same time. So you have to think both.
Okay. I'm imagining it now. So thank you so much, Aqeel. I wish good luck to you and SITECH, and I can see all of these 5 and 2 or 3 more blooming, inshallah. Thank you so much for doing this session with us.
Thank you so much for being here.